Let's go home.
I'm not gonna lie, it was bittersweet packing up.
Do you ever lie? Does Naran ever lie?
That's a topic for another video.
Hi friends, any of you who have visited a Bruderhof community will know that we have all kinds of different dwellings at our communities where families and single people live. And anyone who's been around Chris and Naran for a while will know that for the past decade or so, we've lived in a cute little fibro cottage on the edge of the Danthonia community, a little 2-bedroom affair that was built long before we acquired the place. But we've recently moved to a brand new home in a new building constructed just a couple years ago. So we're going to tell you a little story about how we got to where we are now.
Many of you have asked great questions, so we thought we'll answer some of them today.
So before we get into talking about our new location, Naran, just tell me what it was like for you as a mother the past 10 years raising our sons in that quaint little cottage with the leaky floorboards and drafty windows.
Yeah, it has been very rustic, but just perfectly suited for our family. So there's no insulation. It was freezing in winter and very hot in summer. There was one bathroom, and what saved us then was a little outdoor toilet, a little dunny. Great big backyard, so we had endless cricket games and campfires, and we are next to another house that has several larger families living in it. So we were kind of a community away from the main community, and it was a really great place to raise the boys and also interact with our local community. But seasons change.
Yeah, they certainly do. And for us as a family, part of that change has been our older sons moving away from home and my mother moving here to join us after my father's passing, so that now we have the joy of incorporating her into our family and caring for her. And so when we were asked whether we'd be willing to move to a different apartment, also to allow a family with young and growing kids to have the space that we were in, and to provide an opportunity for us to live right alongside mom in an environment that's really designed so we can give her the best possible care. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, and also we put ourselves in that young family's shoes, and we were remembering the blessing that little cottage was for our family when we were growing and young and, you know, just figuring out the rhythms of family life and marriage. And we were like, why would we deny them that blessing? Let them have it. But it was still emotional, right? It's been bittersweet. Any change is, because that little hallowed space holds a lot of memories.
Yeah, of course, and that's natural, right? I mean, you put down roots, it's home, you build memories, that's what makes it beautiful. It would be awkward if it didn't feel that way.
Right.
But all of that is secondary to the fact that really, as members of this community committed to trying to contribute to what's best for the whole, we need to maintain that flexibility that actually, at the end of the day, where we live, the situation that we find ourselves in is completely secondary to the core of what we're about, and also how we want to treat each other and make anybody who comes to our door feel. That's got to be central.
Exactly, and I think when we look back over the last decade, it holds really precious memories. It holds difficult memories. I remember standing in that kitchen the last time and just all the memories flooding back of joy, laughter, difficult things, farewells, welcomes, milestone birthdays and celebrations. But it was really great to actually have that opportunity to put things in boxes and declutter.
We Marie Kondo'd the heck out of that place.
Yes, we did.
We did. And you know, that's an important part of moving, as any of you guys who've done it will well know, that, you know, just the opportunity to reflect on what's actually necessary. Does it spark joy?
Yeah. We realized, as we were thinking and moving and packing, we realized again, and we're reminded, it's not what's in a home or the actual location, but the love that fills a house that actually makes that home and creates that home.
And speaking of reminders, we think often of, you know, the wisdom of the proverb that the world is but a bridge, cross over it and don't build your house on it. And of course, spiritually, that's a very important thing to think on, that, you know, our home is not here. We're bound for somewhere else ultimately, all of us. But, you know, that can also impact the way that we choose to live and the emphasis and importance we place on stuff and on circumstance and location.
Yeah, and Bear was a really great example for us. I mean, he was a little bit lost initially, but we've moved next to his sister. So it's just dog joy around here. Our cat Julian is still not convinced. We're working on rehoming her here, but...
Without giving away too much, let's just say that Bear spent his first week going around to every bush in the neighborhood and staking his claim.
Yes.
So he's well and truly set up shop.
Yes, yeah.
I often think there's a certain irony in the fact that as members of a community who have taken a vow of personal poverty, i.e. we don't claim anything that we have as being our own, that's a really beautiful thing, but it also places an inherent responsibility on each of us, because certain pressures that many of you will know all too well are not ours to carry. We don't know what it's like to have a mortgage and be up against those payments monthly. I don't have to worry about many things that many of you think about every single day. Those stresses are alleviated, those financial burdens. We do share them, of course, collectively, but each of us as individual families don't carry those burdens on our own. And so that's also a great gift that the community resources its families and makes sure that everybody has what they need for the season that they're in as a family.
Yeah, and freedom from possession is a richness all of its own, I think. So I bet you're wondering who asked us to move and how does that all work? We have a couple here that has the unenviable job of making sure that everyone has a house that's suited for their family season and their needs.
Yeah, just as with so many other things in our community, it's about teamwork. It's about listening to each other and understanding the needs of the moment and then responding to them.
And when we're talking about homes, we realize that it's a basic need that many people don't have or struggle to obtain and keep. And we're saying this with great gratitude that we can move from house to house and not worry about the things that Chris is talking about.
And I think one of the ways that we show that gratitude is by the way we show hospitality.
Absolutely.
To the families right around us here in community and to anybody who walks through our doors.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that we have been considering and thinking on as we've moved, that our house is not a home unless it's filled with love, laughter, hospitality, and joy. Our porch now is as big as almost the footprint of our old cottage, and our living room is exceedingly spacious, and we have had many wonderful gatherings here already, and we look forward to many more.
So there you have it. I hope that's answered a few questions for you. And if you want to join us in the comments and let us know if you've had any interesting experiences with moves, either upcoming or moves gone by.
Also how the pets handled it.
Yeah, very important. We'd love to hear from you. Also what it is that makes your house a home. Tell us that. And in the meantime, thanks all for being with us, and we'll talk again very soon.
Bye for now.